Hello, this is a really good book. How can you lose an elephant? How can you? Well, our author and illustrator, Jan Fearnley, she's going to tell us in her story. And this book is a Simon and Schuster book. How can you lose an elephant? Oscar was as brave as a cave full of lions. Oh, I don't know if I could be that brave. He was as funny as a basket of kittens. He was as silly as a bucket of frogs. And Oscar was also a boy who somehow always lost things. I'm always losing things. When Oscar played football, he lost his boots. "Where are your boots?" cried his mother. "I don't know," said Oscar. When Oscar went on a picnic, he lost his scooter. "What happened to your scooter?" asked Dad. "I don't know," said Oscar. When Oscar went swimming, he lost his flippers. "Where are your flippers?" his parents asked. "I don't know," Oscar shrugged. He couldn't remember where anything was. Then, one day, Oscar found something very special. I wonder what it is. I know. He found an elephant called Hugo. Well, they actually found each other in the park next to the swings. Hugo seemed to be quite alone, so Oscar brought him home. He brought an elephant home. Hugo was helpful and kind, and he was clever. He painted beautiful pictures with his trunk and recited poetry. Soon he became part of the family. Everybody loved Hugo, especially Oscar. How cool would that be to have an elephant at home? Hugo remembered long lists. Elephants have excellent memories. They never forget things. Oscar learned lots of clever things from his new friend, and then the most amazing thing happened. With Hugo's help, Oscar started remembering. Oh my goodness, that's a good friend. He remembered where his toys were. He remembered complicated dance steps and where he'd left his scooter. He even remembered the names of all the planets. Oscar had not only found an elephant, he'd found a best friend. But one day, as is always the way, something happened. Oscar and Hugo were playing cards together. Hugo won. Snap! Then Oscar won. Snap! But today, Oscar wanted to win every time. And as soon as that happened, Oscar kept losing. Snap! That's just the way it goes sometimes. But Oscar became angrier and angrier, and his face became redder, and then Oscar lost something very important. He lost his temper. "I don't want to play with you anymore," he shouted. "Go away." Oscar hid his face in a cushion. Hugo quietly put his cards down and left. Uh-oh. So it looks like Oscar has finally snapped. the time Oscar was ready to be friends again, Hugo had gone. "How could you lose an elephant?" said Mum. "I don't know," said Oscar. But he did know. He really did. Now he'd lost something huge. He'd lost his best friend. "Oh, Hugo, where are you? Come home," cried Oscar. He searched everywhere, behind furniture, under things, up, down, and everywhere. But it was no use. Hugo was nowhere to be found. That's a bit sad. All night, Oscar dreamed of elephants. The next day, Oscar remembered all the adventures they had shared together and the places they had played. Oscar tried his hardest to think where Hugo might have gone, and suddenly he remembered. Oscar ran back to the park, and there he found Hugo. He realised that Hugo's friendship was much more important than winning a silly game. "I'm sorry," Oscar cried. "I never meant to hurt you. Please come home." Oscar and Hugo were best of friends and lived together happily. They even made some new friends. Oscar still occasionally loses his trousers and his boots and his scooter, but he doesn't mind a bit because he never forgets the important things. And that is all that matters. Wow, I really enjoyed that story. So he didn't really lose an elephant, did he? No, he lost his temper. Sometimes I lose my temper. Do you sometimes lose your temper? Yeah, it's not so good, is it? Hey, until next time, ka kite, my friends.